Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. About a week or two ago I was watching a video by Cutlery Lover, and he was talking about having some sort of knife or defensive tool while you are in your restroom. And he was stating that a linoleum knife, which is a sort of like a bill that comes down, I'm sure you've seen these before, I hope, would be good just to keep in the bathroom. If something broke in there, you could use that to slash the assailant, the person when they're attacking you. However, he said it's not a good stabber. Of course, it's not a good stabber. So, from the moment I saw that video, I was like, how can I take a linoleum knife and also make it a good stabber? So I want something that is a slasher and stabber, and it would be the ultimate fighting knife. So I spent days and days and days drawing pictures of what I felt would be the ultimate fighting knife. And I finally went out, bought some steel, and I sketched my design on it, so I'm going to start making it. So this is the Gear Obsession Ultimate Fighting Knife. I call it the 10-bit because it's a cross between a carambite, I think is how you pronounce it, either carambit or carambite, and a tanto blade. So I'm going to call it a tonbite or tonbit, something like that. But here it is. As you can see, there's your what sort of looks like a linoleum knife. Would make a good slasher. Then you have a tonneau cut right there, sort of a drop point, which would be a nice stabber. I got a handle made up here. I also have sort of put a glass breaker on the back, or a skull cracker if you want to use it as that, since this is a fighting knife. And have a thumb ramp up here and a guard here. So I'm going to go ahead and start making it. The Gear Obsession Ultimate Fighting Knife, the Tombit. So you ready to see the final product? Okay, remember, I rushed this, so it just took 2 days. That knife that I did before, in case you didn't see it, a couple of months ago, I had made a knife out of a file, and I spent a lot of time. I mean, almost 2 weeks working on this guy, and I sort of fussed over every little thing on that. This I slapped together in 2 days just as a concept knife, so it's not refined and pretty, but it's a 6.5 inch long blade, and it weighs about 7 ounces. And here it is. Now, is that a mean looking knife or what? Again, this is a fighting knife. This is what I believe is the perfect combat knife, based on, or maybe the perfect bathroom knife, I don't know, based on Cutlery Lovers having a linoleum knife inside the restroom. That's how this came to be, this whole concept. So you have something that you can slash at, you have something that you can stab with, and you could even stab by coming down on something just down like that. So you have so many different options with this. You have a slasher, a stabber, and a stabber even this way. If you go to reverse grip, it could almost protect your arm. And this part of the blade is sharp too. I mean, we have edges that edge comes all the way up here, all the way here. It's not super sharp because, again, I didn't spend an enormous amount of time with this. It was more of a rush job. I ended up using 550 cord here, so if you had to, you have about 10 feet of 550 pound test cord that you could use for whatever. It has a little thumb guard, or not thumb guard, but a finger guard here, so when you are poking, you have a ramp here, thumb ramp. So between the thumb ramp and the guard here, you don't have to worry about, even though you probably wouldn't hold it like this when you're stabbing, you would probably have sort of a death grip on this thing when you're stabbing, slashing. It's good. It feels good both reverse grip or regular grip. Now, if my sander wasn't shocking me so much, I would have done a couple of other interesting things with this blade. What I might have done is bring this down as a clip point, which would have made this a little bit thinner, which would make it even a better penetrator by having a clip point here. And then I would do like another swedge here, and then I would have the thumb ramp, so you'd almost have like 3 waves, which would look pretty cool. And I left this as a tonneau edge, just so in case of an emergency, you could use this edge to do some, just some EDC kind of cutting if you had to, or survival. You have a good flat edge. But if this was pure fighting, I would recurve this in a little bit too. So I mean, the curves of that, if I had the time, you'd have the curve here, you'd have your drop point, another curve here, and then your thumb ramp. It would look killer. It looked like a freaking Batman knife. It's just so cool. So I wanted to take a stab at what I believe to be the ultimate fighting knife, and there it is. So tell me what you think. Just some flat. By the way, this is just painted flat black using the high heat black spray paint that you put on your grill, because that's what I had. So it's probably not sharp enough to really stab very well, but we'll see. Actually, it does a pretty good job stabbing that way. Hope I don't stab my desk. And it does a good job stabbing. Whoops. Got a little hole in there too, so it held up. I don't see any. Actually, I dropped this even straight down on the concrete, and since this had no heat treatment, it's actually a little bit of a softer steel, which is good for a larger type knife like this. So all it did was slightly, very slightly, like bend it. It didn't chip it, so it actually holds up quite well. And again, you're not going to be stabbing or chopping wood with this thing. This is to fight with. So, if you're looking for the ultimate fighting knife, this is the only one in the world right now. If you're a company like Cold Steel or CRKT or one of the big knife companies, and you're interested in utilizing this design, please feel free to contact me. I'll give you a really good deal on my design right here. So I do have Poor Man's copyright set up on this, so if you're interested, just PM me. Wishful thinking. And I could design you some others close to this that would even look even better, given the time. So maybe this is like a Vulcan knife or something, or I can't remember the other Star Trek. Whatever. I digress. So, again, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. Thank you, Cutlery Lover, for giving me the great idea that led to the making of this knife. I appreciate friends, viewers, and subscribers who keep on coming back. I I really do appreciate it. There weren't a lot of comments that I made on my last video back to my people who commented only because I was working on this thing in the garage an awful lot, and I must have drew up about 20 designs before I came up with this. So again, thank you very much. Have a great day, morning, evening, wherever you are, and whoever you are. Have a good one.